Hello patrons! Today I'm going to be teaching the song Daddy Ding Dong by Tenacious D. Probably my favorite song to play live from the new record, Post-Apocalypto. This one was a lot of fun to make in the studio. We got to really get weird with like tonalities, like a lot of diminished and harmonic minor stuff, kind of things that like a weird monster might play. At least that was the note. So let's get right into it. Part of this song is fairly easy, a lot of big rests and not playing. So it of course comes in with Jack's count in as the beast saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, mother effer go, and then it's just a stab on an E power chord. So you mother effers were the ones that killed on it. So you're resting for a couple bars there until the next part that comes in, which is, and so that's just, again, more power chords here, a lot of that in this tune. First fret of the low E string, that'd be an F power chord, up to the 4th fret, back down to the 1st fret, and then 2 hits on that low E power chord again. And that is the part up to tempo. That's our verse, or what we're going to call a verse. So from there, it goes to a very similar type of part where it's just stabbing on that E power chord again. Except this time, it's on the 1 of every bar. Again. Okay, so that last part, same thing that we did the first time, except we're playing that power chord stab on the 1 of every bar, and then going back to our that 1st fret, 4th fret, 1st fret open thing again. I will sometimes play the power chord rather than here. I'll play it here. So it's the same thing as power chord, just an octave up. And that is 2nd fret of the 4th string. Yeah, 2nd fret of the 4th string. 4th fret of the 3rd string. 5th fret of the 2nd string. And sometimes you can put, if you want, you can put that note down there on the bottom to thicken it up a little bit. Give it a little vibrato. You'll see in the tab which times it does vibrato and which times it's just a stab. That takes us into the next part, which is this cool kind of palm muting chromatic downstroke thing that looks like this. So it's just open, all single notes, no power chords here or anything, just open E string, 3, 2, 1. So, and then the turnaround is just 0, 1, 0, 1. Now the last time you leave off that last open, because it's gonna allow you to get to the next note, which is this climb up this scale here that starts on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. So that is just, again, single notes. We're just walking through a little scale pattern here. This is a harmonic minor thing. 3rd fret of the 5th string. 2nd fret of the 4th string. And then we're going to go 6, 7. I think I used my pinky for this. Let me see. Sorry, 3rd finger. Slide on up with the 3rd finger. Get that 6th fret of the 4th string. 7th fret of the 4th string. 4th fret 3rd string, 5th fret 3rd string. Then for this last little bit of it, little atonal thing there at the end. We may have overdubbed that with 2 guitars, doing a harmony in the studio, but live it's easy enough to just play both of the things at the same time. And those are, you're going to use your 3rd finger here on the 10th fret of the 2nd string. Use your 1st finger, 8th fret of the 1st string. Just play those together. Slide them down a half step, or just pick it again. Sounds like this all together slowly. And that is our part that leads us into the first kind of tricky part of this, which is this hammer-on pull-off repetitive figure here that comes in. Now, this next section has a lot of guitarmonies going on, as we call them, like just overdubbed 2nd and 3rd guitars piling up this part to kind of make it more sinister and thicken it up. Live, a lot of times I'll use a harmonizer pedal for stuff like this. In this particular case, there's already a lot going on, so I pretty much just play through the harmony figure just myself, and go up to the next one, go up to the next one. However, for the sake of this lesson and on the tab as well, I've done it more like it is on the record. So through that whole section, there is one guitar that's just doing the foundational lick of it, and that is this. For 4 bars. Now, slowly what that is, and I'm going to show you a little closer up here, we have the 4th fret of the 1st string, 5th fret of the 1st string, hammer on, pull off, and then fret that 5th fret of the 2nd string. So that first time that part happens in the song, halfway through, a harmony comes on, and that harmony is this. The same rhythmic figure, but it just moves up to the next whatever position in that, you know, like up the, whatever the, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, it just moves up the fretboard to the next part in the scale to where it works. So here's what that is. It is 7, 8, 7, 10 on the 2nd string. So we have our first guitar doing this. I'm gonna slow it down. Second bar, or I'm sorry, 3rd bar, the 2nd guitar comes in on top of that one. Now, I've got a little looper pedal here. Let me see if I can show you what that might sound like with 2 guitars doing it. So we have, that's our tempo. Turn that up a little bit. 2nd guitar. So there's an example of what that might sound like. Maybe I should use that live. I don't know, we'll see. So now, from there, it goes back again to this. And then right away, barely verse chorus into the song, we're right up to the solo already. So Daddy Ding Dong is presumably taking the solo in this song, as he says, "Time for my solo." So this is the solo that Daddy Ding Dong would have played, or at least that's what we tried to capture in the studio here. So the first thing was, it was like, well, let's do something where it comes out of the gate really nasty, really kind of ugly and stinky. And what would a mythical post-apocalyptic beast be playing in? Probably diminished. Probably likes atonal and gross sounds like that. So he comes out of the gate with this. And that's just part of this diminished scale. I say just part of this diminished scale. I don't mean to sound cocky like that, but that's what that scale is. That's what it's from. I love that scale. It's just really disgusting sounding, and I like that about it. So that's what this first lick is from. It's diminished, and it is the 12th fret of the first string and the 11th fret of the second string together, and then it is the 11th fret of the second string and 10th fret of the third string together. And that's our little intro to it. Right after that, it's going to an E minor arpeggio, the E minor chord shape that no one would ever play because it's a bummer, is this. And then this is what the lick is. It's just spelling out that chord. A little bit of palm muting maybe. So we're starting here on the 7th fret of the 5th string, 5th fret of the 4th string, 4th fret of the 3rd string, 5th fret of the 2nd string, 4th fret of the 3rd string, and then just right back to that 5th fret of the 2nd string. I'm going to play that slow. Keep in mind what fingers I'm using here. Starting with the pinky seems to really work for this. It puts you in position there for those the rest of the lick or whatever. Then just second finger, first finger, playing that shape up there. So then. So then we're going to slide it on up all the way to the 10th fret of the 2nd string. So then the lick is just going, so 10 on the 2nd string, 9 on the 2nd string, to 9 on the 3rd string. Not sure why that works, but it does. It's kind of major. I don't know why. Anyway, whatever. On to the next lick, which is harmonic minor, 4-5-4 on the 3rd string. Hammer on, pull off, walk down the scale here, 7th fret of the 4th string, 6th fret of the 4th string, 3, then 2 on the 4th string. Okay, so now everything leading up to that point in the solo is not too difficult. Then we get into this run here that gets a little tricky. I am going to reference my tab really quickly and make sure that I am playing it exactly right, because when I do it live, I kind of improvise around the concept of what that run is. I don't usually play it exactly the same every night, but for this, I want to teach it as it is on the record. I'm going to break this up into 3 kind of distinctive parts of this run. Our first part of it is going to be this. It comes in, so you got a little bit of a rest, and then it comes in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that is 2, 3, 4. And then 2nd fret of the 4th string. pull off 3 to 2 on the 4th string, back to the 5th fret of the 5th string. Okay, so for the second section of it, we have 2, 3, slide up to 6 on the 4th string, on the 4th string, 2, 3, slide up to 6, 4th fret of the 3rd string, so after that 4th fret of the 3rd string, back to the 7th fret of the 4th string, and that is 4, 5, pull off 4, back to 7. So that section of it, slow. Okay, so let's hear those two both together. Okay, so now let's hear that with a little bit of time behind it here. I'll tap my foot. 1, 2, I'm gonna slow it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even a little slower here. 3, 4, 1. Okay, so let's look at the third section of that run. That's going to take us all the way to the end of the solo, and we will be through it. So it looks like this. Now, there it is slow. Let me walk you through it note for note. We're on the 3rd string here. We're going to start with, we have 4, 5, 7, 5 on the 2nd string, back to 7 on the 3rd string, and then we have a little pull-off figure here. That is 6, 5 to 6 on the 3rd string, sorry. Then back to the 5th fret of the 2nd string, hammer on pull off, the 6th fret, back to 7 now on the 3rd string. So let me go real slow through just that part. And then the last one is this. So coming out of that last little lick that we had, we go right into that. That is just, you're just leaving that lick. Jump up there to that 9th fret of the 1st string. Walk down this is just a little diagonal line. Just goes 9, 8, 7, 6th fret of the 4th string, slide up to the 9th fret. And then diagonal this way here. Slide up to the 9th fret of the 4th string, 10th fret of the 3rd string, 11 on the 2nd, 12 on the 1st string together. Okay, so here it is slow, just the 3rd part. And that is our final lick in that run. I'm going to slow it down, play through the whole run for you. Let's go about here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, let's speed it up again just for another little faster example. This is kind of more up the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that is the solo. The only difference that we have here in the second half of the song is this part. The way the harmony guitar stacks up is going to change a little bit. Again, what we have the whole time through, all 4 bars of that section, is this guitar doing that through the 4 bars. On the second bar, this time, our first harmony comes in. That is 7, 8, 7 to 10. Now the third bar of it, we have another harmony guitar that comes in and does this. And that is 10, 12, hammer on pull off again, same rhythmic structure, to 13 on the second string. And then the last one, last bar of the 4 bars of that, we have an octave that comes up here and does this. That is 16, 17, hammer on pull off again, same rhythm, to 17 on the second string. That pretty much takes us through to the end. We have one of those again to the end. And that's, I think we may have stacked a couple different things. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on there. Live, I do this. I play this diminished chord that's the same thing from the start of the solo. So that is 12, 11, 10, 9. You could just do this. Just the 2. Or sometimes you could play the open E and mute some of these. That sounds kind of close to the record. But, you know, the point is ending the song with an ugly diminished thing, you know, kind of in the spirit of the tune. That is Daddy Ding Dong by Tenacious D. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, bye.